Picture this. You're 45, career locked in, body dialed, confidence forged through decades of wins. Life's good. Then you meet her, 22, vibrant, full of that untouched fire. Chemistry explodes. She feels feminine, pure, alive. You feel young again. All the stress and the weight you've carried melts away in her presence. Now flip it. Same girl meets a 21-year-old guy. Nice kid, but still figuring sod out. No track record, no stability. She smiles, maybe dates him briefly, but inside she's thinking, is this it? This isn't random, it's biology. And today we're exposing why age gaps of 10 to 25 years often create the strongest, most loyal relationships, while same-age ones frequently end in frustration, cheating, or monkey branching. A 2024 study by Flirtini found that approximately 39% of Gen Z women's likes on dating apps went to men more than a decade older. In contrast, only 26% of Gen Z women prioritize dating within a 3-year age bracket. A datingnews.com study found that 61% of Gen Z women preferred older boyfriends and husbands, compared to only 16% who preferred younger ones. Many Gen Z women cite emotional maturity and stability as primary drivers, often expressing frustration with the perceived immaturity among guys their own age. Sound familiar, guys? If you've seen this play out in real life, stick around. We're about to break down why it happens and how age gaps flip the script. In today's edition of PME, we're exploring the often misunderstood world of age gap relationships, making the case for why a 10 to 25-year difference can be the sweet spot for lasting fulfillment. We will address the commonly used counter-arguments, such as the prefrontal cortex argument, the it's predatory argument, and the they don't have anything in common argument. Of course, not every age gap relationship works. Bad matches fail regardless of age, but the data suggests these dynamics work when both want the same thing. Age gap relationships are rooted in evolutionary preferences that align men's and women's natural attractions. We will keep things real about what truly makes these dynamics work for both sides. Welcome to Prime Male Evolution, the channel where we deliver straightforward insights to help men in their 30s, 40s, and 50s make sense of modern relationships and build the life they want without the confusion. In this video, we're diving into why age gaps of 10 to 25 years often emerge as the most harmonious. We will draw on psychological and evolutionary principles that explain why men in their prime and younger women can create strong, mutually beneficial bonds. We'll break down the qualities women seek that take time for men to develop, the traits men value that peak in women's early 20s, and the real-world reasons these relationships can thrive. The successful dynamics of age gap relationships are supported by patterns observed across cultures and studies. Let's start with what women naturally look for in a man. Traits like financial stability, emotional maturity, social influence, and the ability to lead with wisdom and resilience. These are qualities that signal a man can provide security and navigate life's challenges effectively. These aren't superficial wants, they're deeply ingrained preferences shaped by evolution, where women have historically sought men who could offer protection and resources in uncertain environments. This is how a woman could ensure better outcomes for herself and her future family. The catch is that these attributes don't just appear overnight. They build over years of experience, setbacks, and growth, often peaking in a man's 40s. A man often won't have the desirable traits women are looking for until he has honed his career, built his network, and developed the kind of unshakable confidence that comes from real-world trials. A younger man might have potential, but he lacks the proven track record. An older man, however, embodies the competence and status that make women feel safe and admired. But here's the part most guys miss: why she might still cheat or monkey branch, even when she's with a solid same-age guy. In age gap relationships of 10 to 25 years, women's innate preference for men with superior resources, status, and stability is often more fully satisfied. The older man typically brings years of accumulated wisdom, financial security, and social influence that a same-age peer might still be building, creating a dynamic where she feels genuinely provided for and protected. This alignment reduces the temptation for her to seek out better options, fostering greater loyalty and emotional investment. A client of mine, 33, dated a 29-year-old who, in her deluded opinion, settled for him after years of chasing finance bros, athletes, and other high-status chads. 2 years in, she left for a 45-year-old exec with no warning. These types of stories are, unfortunately, becoming increasingly common here in the West. Patterns in studies and real-world examples suggest age gap couples often achieve stronger satisfaction and stability, especially when values align, though individual factors always matter most. Conversely, in same-age pairings, where both individuals start on more equal footing, a woman might grow dissatisfied if her man's progress lags behind her expectations. Sometimes she encounters higher status men, potentially leading to infidelity or monkey branching to a perceived upgrade as the initial parity erodes over time. Choosing a mate based on potential is always a significant risk, and because women are on a strict biological clock when it comes to reproduction, they can't afford to pick the wrong man in their prime. Now, let's flip the coin. Men, is your ideal woman still 18 to 25? You're not alone. Science says what men really crave. Men of every age, from their early 20s to their 50s and beyond, consistently rate women in their early 20s, around 20 to 23, as the most physically attractive, showing a flat preference that shifts little with the man's advancing years. In contrast to fertile-aged women's evolving attraction toward partners who are their same age or older, this male pattern reveals a timeless biological pull toward peak youthful fertility and vitality in potential mates. As Rudder's Dataclysm analysis of millions of revealed mating preferences demonstrates, even older men don't age up their ideal female attractiveness threshold. It stays locked on those early 20s women, highlighting a stark and fundamental asymmetry in how the two sexes perceive desirability over time. Men's attraction is equally rooted in biology, focusing on qualities like youthfulness, fertility, and a sense of purity that signal strong bonding potential and minimal past complications. Evolution has wired men to be drawn to women in their late teens to early 20s, regardless of their own age, because this period marks peak reproductive health and the highest chances of producing healthy offspring. This preference is consistent across studies and cultures. But it's not just about biology. Men seek softness, loyalty, nurturing instincts, and that innocent enthusiasm for life, someone who hasn't been hardened by extensive experiences or multiple past relationships. This allows for a fresh start and a natural polarity where he can introduce her to the world and build shared memories without the shadows of the past. This desire for what we call purity, encompassing chastity, inexperience, demureness, and genuine femininity, stems from a primal need for exclusivity and deep emotional connection. Her untouched nature makes the bond feel sacred and unbreakable. Men have an innate desire to build their own empire and to leave a legacy. Men have a hardwired preference for exclusivity and a fresh start. Think of it like wanting something untouched and exclusively yours, not passed around. It's biological, not moralizing. Think of it this way. Just as you wouldn't want to eat a roast beef sandwich that's been passed around and sampled by a bunch of other guys, leaving it worn and less appealing, men have a similar instinctive aversion to committing to a woman who has shared intimacy with many men before him. It's a raw, biological preference for something fresh and exclusively his, not a judgment but a hardwired response to ensure trust and legacy. This instinct doesn't fade with age. Studies show men's ideal stays locked around 20 to 22, even into the 50s and beyond. Attraction is timeless in that sense. Guys, does that raw instinct ring true? Hit like or comment if it does. Women, by contrast, prefer men a few years older, valuing the maturity and resources that come with time, creating a natural alignment for age gaps where both get what they instinctively crave. I know a guy, 48, successful, married to a 26-year-old nurse. She's loyal, happy, and he says she's the best decision he's ever made. No drama, no wandering eyes. So why do gaps of 10 to 25 years often work so well? From a practical standpoint, these relationships can offer a beautiful balance. The older man brings the resources, safety, experience, stability, and leadership that allow her to feel secure and guided. Guys in your 40s and 50s, this is your main leverage. Her youth and her energy infuse his life with vitality and optimism, creating a dynamic in which both individuals complement each other's strengths. Studies on relationship satisfaction show that men with younger girlfriends and wives report higher levels of happiness and even longer lifespans. Research from Denmark found that men with spouses about 9 years younger saw up to an 11% reduction in mortality risk. These findings are likely due to the vitality and rejuvenating effects of the partnership. Some call it the young wife effect on longevity. For women, pairing with an older man can provide emotional and financial security, with data suggesting greater satisfaction in areas like intimacy and support when the man is older. The key is that these gaps allow men to access the fertility and purity they seek, while women gain the proven competence and resources they desire. Age gap relationships often lead to more stable unions than same-age pairs, where both are still figuring things out. Before we get to the science, let's dismantle the 3 biggest arguments older women often use to shame age gaps. Starting with the prefrontal cortex argument, claiming that women's brains aren't fully developed until their mid-20s, and therefore they shouldn't be trusted with choosing whom they date. This claim dismisses women's agency too easily. The prefrontal cortex argument is overblown. Legal adulthood starts at 18, which means these women have full agency. 18-year-olds can legally vote, drive, join the military, sign contracts, choose their education. They can fly a plane, buy a firearm, get married, or buy a house. Brain development is gradual and individual. Plenty of 18 to 22-year-olds handle these smart, lifelong decisions every day. The argument overstates immaturity. Consenting adults have agency. Up until 1970, the average age of marriage was indeed 20. Today, it's closer to 30 in many countries. Next, let's talk about the predatory argument. This video is strictly about consenting legal adults choosing freely, mutual admiration and respect, not manipulation, and not blanket accusations suggesting ill intent or criminal behavior. The predatory label is often just a way to shame natural attractions. Focus on mutual respect, admiration, and love instead of blanket accusations. The predatory argument assumes all older men have bad intentions. The vast majority of age gap couples are perfectly healthy and mutually beneficial. There is no inherent power imbalance. Then there's the "she's young enough that she could be your daughter" argument. This line is nothing more than a lazy emotional shaming tactic. It tries to evoke incestuous vibes without actually making a logical or ethical point, since the woman in question is a consenting adult stranger with zero familial relation. Flip the script. If someone dates a partner their own age, you could just as easily say, "he could be your brother." But no one uses that as a serious moral objection because it exposes how absurd the comparison is. Family resemblance in age doesn't invalidate attraction or consent between unrelated adults. This argument dodges real discussion about mutual respect, compatibility, and agency, falling back on knee-jerk disgust instead of evidence. It's emotional manipulation and shaming dressed up as concern, and it crumbles the moment you apply the same logic to any other consensual relationship. Bottom line, romantic partners aren't chosen based on hypothetical family ties. They're chosen based on connection, and throwing around daughter or sister analogies is just a weak way to police natural preferences without engaging the facts. Finally, let's counter the "they don't have anything in common" argument. The no common ground claim is too simplistic. Shared values and personality compatibility matter more than shared age or interests. Many couples build shared worlds over time: travel, hobbies, family. The polarity, his wisdom plus her energy, often creates deeper bonds than sameness. Opposites often attract and complement. Older men bring wisdom and stability, and younger women add energy and fresh views. There are many synergies in age gap relationships that stem from how each individual can complement the other simply by the nature of who they are and their unique qualities. Many couples thrive on these polarities, synergies, and differences. Common interests can also develop over time, forming real, lasting connections. Of course, not every age gap relationship is perfect, and success depends on genuine connection, communication, and aligning on life goals. But the evolutionary fit makes them a natural option in a world where timing often doesn't match up. Men in their 40s are at their peak in terms of what women want: confident, fit, resourceful, resilient, and able to provide security. Women in their early 20s embody what men value: youthful, fertile, unjaded, feminine, gentle, soft, warm, nurturing, vitalizing, playful. This creates relationships that can feel effortless and rewarding. Men, if you're in your prime and considering a younger girlfriend, don't let societal shame stop you. You're not predatory. You're not manipulating. There's no inherent power imbalance as long as there's mutual respect. You're following what works biologically and historically. Women, if you're watching, understand this. Chasing same-age guys often leaves you unsatisfied and chasing upgrades. The data doesn't lie. Age gaps built on mutual respect often last longer and feel better for both the man and the woman. Own your preferences. Build what works. Smash like if this made sense. Comment below. What's your number one non-negotiable in a girlfriend or boyfriend? Maturity, youth, loyalty? Let's build the discussion. Subscribe and turn on notifications. We're back every week with more unfiltered truth. You're not wrong for knowing what you want. You're ahead of the game. This is Prime Male Evolution. You're in your prime. Own it.